Okay, are we live? If so, this is Jack from Tefluency.com and welcome to this lesson where we are going to practice our pronunciation. And I'm going to talk about some big differences between British and American English. Things like dropping the R sound and also some vowel sound differences. But we're also going to look at some resources so that you can practice the way that you speak on your own. You can practice the sounds of English on your own and to learn how to say words in English. So we're going to look at lots of resources today. Now, before we get started, if you are new here, then please like this video and also subscribe to the channel. So we go live about once a week or so, sometimes twice a week. And I am looking at different ways to give you live lessons here on YouTube. So if you have been here before, you will notice things are a little bit different. You can see above you to this side, I think, and you can just see how I'm trying to make it a little bit better for you. So another thing is, if you're watching the replay, then be sure to follow the live chat as well. Okay, so we have Flavio from Brazil, Hesham is here, people from Cambodia, Mary is here, Kevin from China. Yeah, we're going to look at different vowel sounds today and consonant sounds, and just look at words and how we can pronounce them correctly. Okay. It's going to be a really good lesson and I'm looking forward to this today. Now, look at what I'm wearing. This is what I am wearing. It is a Preston North End shirt and I'm wearing this because yesterday Preston won. They beat Stoke City 3-2 and I just want to share something with you. It's this. This is the PNEFC official Instagram channel, and it says, a deserved win. I'll highlight it for you. A deserved win for the Lily Whites. The Lily Whites is the nickname for Preston North End. A deserved win for the Lily Whites after a brilliant performance under the lights at Deepdale. Goals from Johnson, Bowden and Harrop make it back-to-back home wins. So, Lily Whites, the nickname of Preston North End. Under the lights. This means at night when you have lights in the stadium. And these are called floodlights. Floodlights. So we played under the lights last night. And also back-to-back home wins. You can also say 2 home wins in a row. I'm just going to put this into chat. 2 home wins in a row. This is a really good phrase, in a row. Okay, I've worked 10 days in a row. I've made 6 videos in a row. Okay, so this is change that, in a row. This is a really good phrase to know, in a row. It just means consecutive. 2 consecutive home wins. Back-to-back home wins. 2 home wins in a row. So there are various ways that you can use this. So go follow Peony Official on Instagram or on Facebook and say @Tefluency sent me here. Tefluency sent me here. Good. Okay, so if you are new here, be sure to get your book, The 5-Step Plan for English Fluency. This is free to download. It's going to give you a really good guide on how you can reach that C1 level of English fast, okay, as quickly as you want to do this. So it's going to give you everything you need to know so that you can do this on your own. And also, check out the Tefluency program. to fluency.com/TFP. This is going to give you lots of resources and materials so that you can really improve your English on your own at a quick rate. So go check out the Fluency program, to fluency.com/TFP. Good. I'm going to go back to the chat before we look at the first resource that is really going to help you. Kevin says, I've watched your videos 10 days in a row. I'm listening to your classes in a row. Yeah, give it a number so you can say, I've been watching your videos for 6 weeks in a row now. No WhatsApp group. I'm afraid, no WhatsApp group. And if you want to help me, there are two things you can do. You can share this lesson. So just share the lesson with your friends on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter. And then also, if you want to donate to the channel, click the $sign and send a super chat. I would be very grateful if you did that. Now, we are going to start with the word water. Okay? Water. Water. Because this is a really interesting word to highlight some differences between British and American English. Okay? So we're going to look at the vowel sounds for this. The American T sound and also the schwa sound in English. And we're going to start with my first tool that you can use that I recommend you use. So I'm going to give you 3 tools today. They're all great. And we're going to start with the first one. And it is the Cambridge Dictionary. I'm going to leave the link to this one if you want to follow along in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, check out the description because I'll have it there for you too. So on your screen, you can see this, water. And there's 2 ways you can say this. Now, before I click the sound button, know that the American one, it still has a little bit of a T sound there. But I'm going to show you how you can say this with the D sound or something similar to a D sound. So listen to this one first.
Water. Water.
Water. Water. Water. So it's this vowel sound here. War, or, which if we go to this resource, we're going to talk more about this later. It's the same sound for, I'll just zoom in, for things like ball, call, dawn, auction. Okay? And also, yes, so it's that sound, the or sound, or, water, water, water. And we also, in English, when there are 2 vowel sounds, in British English, we have the T sound. War, t, 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 water, water, water. Now, this part is the schwa sound. The schwa sound. In British English, a lot of the time, we drop the R sound. We drop the R sound. I'm going to talk about this more in depth very soon. In most American English dialects, you don't drop the R sound after the schwa at the end of the word. But there are certain regions where you do that. Again, we're going to look at that soon. But let's listen to the American version now.
Water. Water.
Water.
Water.
So the first thing is, it's a different vowel sound. And if we use this resource, then we can see it's the same sound as words like father. Okay? R, the R sound. Aunt, argue, arm. We're going to look at this word soon as well. But it's the R sound. Not the or, but the R. So you can see, that is why there are three differences. The vowel sound, the T sound, and then the schwa R sound. So, water, der. You hit the R sound at the end when it comes to American English. So, this really shows that the reason why when I order water in a restaurant in America, people don't understand what I'm asking for. Can I get a water? Huh? Can I get a water? So people don't understand what I'm asking. Whereas in American English, it sounds more like this. Water, water, water. That's not perfect, but it sounds more like that. Water, water, father, water, 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 water. So you can notice the difference here. But I love this site, Cambridge Dictionary, because it gives you the two versions. Now, this is using the phonetic alphabet, okay, the IPA. One thing about this is I do recommend you learn some of the basics of this because it will help you. And it just helps you think about how to make the different vowel sounds, especially, and also the consonant sounds and diphthongs in English. So the way to learn this, I think, is when you are looking up a new word in a dictionary, just take a quick look at this part here and listen to it.
Water.
And then after a while, you will get used to this type of alphabet. You'll get used to this after a while. Let's have a look at the chat. How can I reach you to clarify my doubts? Send a super chat and I'll definitely answer the question for you. Mary, I love British language. I love the British language. Me too. I prefer British English. What does schwa mean? Okay, so schwa is the sound in English. It's the most common sound in English, and it just replaces various vowel sounds. So, in a lesson I'm going to make today and upload next week, I'm going to pronounce some of the counties in England, and a lot of them use the schwa sound. So we have something like this, where I'm from. Lancashire, sh. It's got two schwa sounds. Lancashire. You might hear Lancashire in American English, or also some people in Lancashire say Lancashire. So there are variants of this, but the schwa sound is used a lot, especially in British English, where we don't have the R sound at the end. Now, speaking of the R sound, I want to share this link with you. And this is just talking about how certain regions or certain parts of the world where English is spoken is rhotic, which means, well, as it says here, the historical English R sound is preserved in all pronunciation contexts in the rhotic varieties of English. So there are parts of the English-speaking world where we drop the R sound. Okay? And we've already seen one example of that. In American English, you say brother. In British English, brother. There is a difference there. And I've been researching this a little bit, and what's interesting is that English dialects of Scotland Ireland, the United States, and Canada have the R sound in all contexts. Whereas the non-rhotic varieties include most of the dialects of modern England, Wales, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and some parts of the southern and eastern United States. So the New York accent often drops the R sound. Okay? So you'll hear things like sure, 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 instead of sure, sure. And in most parts of England, you drop the R sound too. Hopefully this is not too confusing at this time. This is really interesting to me, and it's good practice as well. Now, just as a reminder, if you are enjoying this, then please like this video. It really helps out the channel. It really helps out the Fluency channel. So please like and share this video. Now, while researching this, I came across this picture. So you can see this picture on your screen now. I am from a place right here, right in this red bit. And this is red areas are where English dialects of the late 20th century were rhotic. And I was thinking about how, where I'm from, there are certain words where we include the R sound, or the older generation include the R sound. And there's a little list here that I came across, which I think is really interesting. So let's just listen to this.
We're turnip,
Turnip, turnip, turnip. That is like well, from Preston, where I'm from, a Lancashire accent, where the R sound is in the words like turnip, 30, permanently, certainly. This is the Lancashire accent, certainly, certainly. Whereas most modern accents will say certainly, certainly, with no R sound. Notice the difference. Certainly, certainly, certainly. First, 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 first. So there are parts of England that do have the R sound here. I'll leave a link to this as well in the description. What does rhotic mean? So rhotic means that the R sound is always made where in historical in the past there were R sounds. In a lot of modern English, the R sound is dropped. So we just had an example like brother, brother, brother. But non-rhotic is brother. No R at the end. Okay? So, here's another example of this. If you look at this word here, there's no R sound in the UK version, but there is in the American version. So let's listen.
Arm, arm,
Arm, arm, arm, arm, arm, arm, arm. Is that clear? Is that clear? Please let me know. Let me know about that. Arm, 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 arm. It's a small difference. It's a small difference. Gemma says, you're using some of the recordings of your TFP program, aren't you? No, this is all different. But inside the TFP program, it's more structured. I go through things like the schwa sound, all the vowel sounds, consonant sounds. and give you the ability to practice and to send me the recordings. So people are saying that you notice the difference. Yeah, great. Arm, 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 arm. Good. And the second one is the American accent. Very good, everybody. Very good. Okay. But like I said before, in certain parts of America, like New York, it's non-rhotic. They drop the R sound quite often. Okay. Now, I am going to share something with you, which I think is pretty cool. Right now, I am taking accent training for certain English accents. So I am in training to try and learn how to say various accents. And I'm going to share this progress with you. Esther has a question. Did you have problems with American English words and the way they live? At first, yes. At first, well, one thing is, I grew up watching, a great phrase, I grew up watching American TV. Okay? So, I learned a lot of the words and expressions and phrases, and I got used to the American accent. So when I moved here, I was quite familiar with the way people spoke, but still there were certain things that I just didn't understand. Certain things I just didn't understand. If we pronounce R, it's non-rhotic. No, if you pronounce R, it's rhotic. Mariam says, should we focus on one accent? Maybe. I think so. I think it's good to learn how to do one, like 2 or 3 accents, but make one your focus. So make like a general English or a general American accent your focus, but then learn how to use other accents and how to make those sounds, because this will help you in a big way. Kaiba says how to pronounce TH. Go watch the last lesson I made, the last live lesson, because we go through that in there. 399 English is here. Good to see you back again. Thank you for joining. It's great to have you. Now, one thing I learned, or one thing I am learning while learning the New York accent, is that this word here, sometimes I say this and I produce the G sound, long, long. And they do this in New York City too. Long, long, long. That's not, I need to practice more. But there are various dialects in English where you do pronounce the G when in most dialects it's long, 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 long. How to pronounce YouTube in British and in American and British. This is a good example, okay? I think most Americans will say YouTube, YouTube, where British will say YouTube, tube. I'm not quite sure, but this word, tuna, is like the CH sound. Tuna, tuna, and tuna. Tuna. In American, tuna, tuna. So there is a difference there. Okay. So the first resource I wanted to share was this, Cambridge Dictionary. And if you want to focus on one variant, then
arm,
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 arm. That's quite long the way they say it. Arm, arm, arm. Okay, but good. Now, the next one is a lot of fun, and we're going to have fun now with this. Let's see. This is it. This is a website called Youglish. Okay? Youglish. Youglish. And if I go to the home page, it says, use YouTube to improve your English pronunciation. With more than 40 million tracks, Youglish gives you fast, unbiased answers about how English is spoken by real people and in context. So what you do is you put in a word here, and then you can say US English, British, or Australian. Or you can do all of them. So let's do the word water and then click say it and listen. Okay, are you guys ready?
It takes 100 gallons of water to make 1 pound of beans. It begs the question.
And the key processing step only requires soap and water.
Water.
Can be territorial. You do not want to mess with a hippo or a rhino or a water buffalo.
Water buffalo.
We're in right now, the serene water, the perfect temperature, the hue.
Now let's go to UK.
Phones than to clean running water. And among the
water.
You will be like someone trying to make rough water smooth with a flat iron.
It's underneath the road. What a lot of people forget about are electricity cables, sewers, water pipes.
Where the water levels are really, really high, and
That was a good example. Where the water levels are really, really high. Listen again.
Where the water levels are really, really high, and where the water levels are really, really
water levels. The water levels. So you can see here, this is a great website to know how to pronounce something in real time. It doesn't allow you to focus on the word specifically. That's what this website does. But this one allows you to listen to the word in context and in real time. Now let's just try the Australian version. I think it's more like water.
Water is pumped to an elevated reservoir using
examples that are more significant than dripping of water.
Water.
But on the other hand,
advanced water treatment plants.
And it has a flavour a little bit like soda water. It has
soda water. So yeah, there's a slight difference there. The British and Australian accent can be quite similar. When I speak to people here and I meet them for the first time, they sometimes think I am from Australia. Kaiba has a question. Should I buy the Cambridge pronunciation in use book, please Jack, for improving? I don't know. I've never seen it, so I can't give you an answer on that. I recommend my program. I am going to say that. It's my program. But those people who have gone through the program will tell you it really helps. Oh, it really helps you nail down. What a good phrase. To nail down the sounds of English and the rhythm and intonation of English and how to stress words too. So to nail something down means to master something. So I recommend taking a look at my program, but also check out other resources too, and use the resources that I'm talking about in this lesson as well. Good. So that is number 2, Youglish. What word do you want to hear in this? So what word do you want me to put in here? I'm just going to put another one in while I'm waiting for that, and it's this one. Let's do the US version first.
When they just literally go crazy and
literally
just improvise and channel.
Who will be coming after me? Literally a leader among men. That's
not American. Next one.
Office, because I've been with you in it, is literally right there.
Literally. Let's listen to the UK version.
Function. Without it, we literally can't.
Literally. I like that one.
Words like revelation, which literally means
literally. big difference here between British and American. So again, this is a really good resource to use. What are those resources? Please tell. Yeah, this one is Youglish, and the other one is Cambridge Dictionary. Okay, so that is the first. Those are the first two resources. Okay, now just as a reminder, if you don't have it yet, to fluency.com/book to download the 5-step plan for English fluency. This is free to download if you subscribe to my emails. And if you want to go through all my resources and to get membership access to the Fluency program, go to fluency.com/TFP. There is a link to do this in the description. Okay. Going to read some of the comments. I love your English accents. Before I didn't understand most British, but you're the first one I understand for the British accent. I love to learn English with you. Nice teacher, Jack. Thank you so much, Olivia. That's so kind to say that. We've currently got 85 people watching live. Please like and share this video so that we can reach more people. Let's try and get to over 100 people watching this live lesson. Okay, so soon what we're going to do is look at another resource, which I think it's mainly for teachers, but I think it's really useful for learners as well, because it allows you to look at words to help you think about the sounds of English. Going back to this example, listen to this again.
Water.
Water.
So again, these two have different vowel sounds. And if you go to Teflpedia.com and you enter the phonemes, it gives you a really good basic introduction on what this is. Okay. And we're going to use received pronunciation for a lot of this, but it does give you a good visual on American English too. GA, General American or American English. So it gives you a good example of this. Sometimes it's different in American English, sometimes it's different in received pronunciation. So this is a really good resource too. And as you learn the IPA, you are going to be able to use this resource a little bit more. So, like I said, water, we had the UK sound, and then if we go to that sound, it tells you how to use this. So, in received pronunciation, the IPA phonetic symbol corresponds to the vowel sound in words like north, force, thought, or. Additionally, many people pronounce sure as that instead of the more traditional. That's when it gets a little bit more complicated. In General American, this phoneme is heard in north, force, thought, and cloth. That's my New York accent. Cloth, cloth, cloth. And then if you go down here, you can look at the common words. So things like abroad, broad, ought, thought, bought, brought, fought, sought, thought. Water. There it is. Water. Water. And then looking up the other sound here, where the American English uses water, water, water. This is when we can learn about this sound. And words like start, art, palm, spar, spar, spar. Okay. So this is also going into the southern way to say bath, bath instead of bath, bath. The short A sound instead of this one. And then you can look at common words and think, okay, I can say car, car, water, 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 car. Now, this is a good difference too, because with this one, in American English, you have the R sound. Car, 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 car. So this is Teflpedia, and I like this because it gives you a very general overview of the vowel sounds. Now this might be quite difficult for some of you, but it's a really good resource to use. Okay, let's check out the chat, see what people are saying. How can we get this program of Fluency? So go to this link to fluency.com/TFP and you'll be able to learn more about this program. There are 2 payment options for you, and yeah, I would love to have you. I would love to have you. Tomorrow I'm recording more lessons for it, and I'm very excited to do that. It is currently raining outside, unfortunately. I was going to go and play a little bit of soccer before picking my son up, but it's raining now. I think it's different to pronounce talk in American English and British English. May you pronounce both? Yeah, so this is where we can use this resource, okay? And search for talk. And if you go down, you have, yep. Talk. Talk. This is an O sound. Talk. Talk. Talk.
Talk.
Talk. Talk.
Talk. Talk.
So it's the same with the water, talk, water, water, talk. So yeah, that is different vowel sounds. Does this confuse you? When you're thinking about learning English, do you get frustrated by the fact that American and British English have these differences? Does it frustrate you? Please let me know. Because when I was studying Spanish, it used to annoy me that there were various ways to say different sounds and different ways to say things. It used to annoy me. English is so difficult for Vietnamese like me. Well, I've made 2 videos now on why the English language is hard. And I'm making those videos to take your focus away from thinking it's hard and just put your focus on doing the right things. So to put your focus on doing things that are actually going to help you improve. So that is the key with this. Does British and Ireland sound the same? No, it's very different. The Irish accent is quite far back in the mouth, okay? And it's rhotic, so they'll say the R sounds. Ireland, Ireland, Ireland. British is more like island, Ireland, Ireland. It's not very good. I'm practicing. But then the British is more island, island, island. So you can notice the difference here. But Niall from One Direction sounds like British. So let's see where Niall is from. Niall, One Direction, Horan. Let's go on Wikipedia. Niall Horan is an Irish singer and songwriter. Songwriter. Yeah. I'm going to practice this. I wonder, maybe, let's see. Did he move to England? He probably moved to England. And also, Can you hear the thunder? With the thunder? Maybe also he sings in a British accent. We also have the fact that sometimes the younger generation, they don't have an accent as strong as the older generation. So there might be some reasons for that, but that's interesting. I'm Arabian and I cannot pronounce the letter R. Why is it hard for me? Well, it depends, because if you don't have this sound in your native language, then it is going to be hard to learn. For example, for me, learning the Spanish R sound was difficult because it's different to the English R sound. And the same for the French one, which I haven't done for a long time. But travail, where it's deep in the throat. The British R sound is more, it's just in the middle. You have to curl your tongue a little bit. The Spanish R is behind your teeth. Perro. So it just depends if you have it in your native language or not. The Fluency program goes through how to make the different sounds of English, like the R sound, and then it gives you ways to practice the different sounds. And then you can upload your own voice recordings to me so I can give you feedback on the way you say it. Olivia says he's Irish. He moved to England for X Factor. You're right. Yeah, that's why. That is why. Very good. Okay, so just to recap, I love the Cambridge Dictionary. It's my favourite one. It gives you the UK version and the American version. Also, check out this article if you are interested in rhoticity in English and just looking at rhotic versus non-rhotic. And there's also some history on this and when it changed. For example, the earliest traces of a loss of R in English appear in the early 15th century and occur before coronal consonants, especially S, given modern ass and bass. Yeah, that's interesting, instead of arse and bass. The second phase of R loss began during the 15th century and was characterized by sporadic and lexically variable deletion. This is getting quite complicated, but it's interesting. If you want to read this, I find it really interesting to see where the rhotic R is still used. So, for example, the most English varieties in England are non-rhotic today, stemming from a trend toward this in southeastern England, accelerating in the very late 18th century onwards. Rhotic accents are still found in the West Country. Yes, the West Country. Barth. Car. So that's like Bristol area. Some of Lancashire, where I'm from, north and okay. Manchester. So it's a different sounding sound, but Manchester, Yorkshire, and Lincolnshire, and in areas that border Scotland, because Scotland still has car. I don't know how they say it. So this is interesting. I find it really interesting, this stuff, but I don't know if you do. Esther says, good R pronunciation. Thank you. R. I'm lifting weights in my room while I'm watching this live lesson. What is everyone doing while they are watching this lesson? Please let me know. Please let me know. Does American and Canadian sound the same? Because they're very similar for me. Canadian sound R like American. Yeah, the American and Canadian accent is very similar. You can notice a difference normally with the word like about. So in American, it's more like about. And in Canadian, it's about. Boot, boot, a boot, my boot. So it's different in that sense. That's how you can tell or notice the difference. So somebody, I can't say your name, is cooking right now. Cooking. Very good. What is everyone else doing? Please let me know. It's confusing for a native speaker listening to somebody that uses both American and British accent in the same phrase. Oh, is it confusing if they use a British and American accent in the same phrase? Well, if you're listening to somebody in British and American English, you do notice the difference. And most people can understand people when they talk in standard British and general American. The difficulties come when we move on to places such as Liverpool. Liverpool? Coke? Can of Coke? Can of Coke? Can of Coke? Or Scotland, especially when it's really strong. Or certain parts of America as well, like the South. I'm going to learn the Southern accent. Where I'm from, people speak in a very strong way. Leonid is here from St. Petersburg, Russia. Very cool. Good to have you here. Very good to have you. So, I've got a few videos that I'm going to make over the next few days, and I think they're going to be really interesting. They're going to be a little bit more focused, let's say. A little bit more focused. These live lessons are fun. I read your comments, and they're a little bit more interactive. But the videos I'm going to make, I'm going to pronounce English counties and talk a little bit more about this. And just to give some fun facts about counties in England. I'm going to talk about the magic of leaving your comfort zone. And I asked a question on Facebook about, I asked, are there things in English you know you should be doing, but you're not? And why don't you do them? And a lot of people are saying, getting speaking practice, shadowing, or listening to myself because it takes a lot of work and I feel quite lazy. So I'm going to talk about the magic of leaving your comfort zone. I think it's going to be a really good lesson. I know all the differences between American, British, Ireland, Canadian, and Australian pronunciation at the same time. I had never seen an English teacher like you. Well, thank you so much. Hello, I'm from Egypt and I love British accent. I'm working to be fluent. I have a lot of difficulties in pronouncing P, TH, and follow the connected speech. Yeah, the P sound. It's a plosive. It's like the air just escapes quickly. Peter, 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 pepper, 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 pepper. Now, with connected speech, I think this is a really good area of English to learn because this is how people talk in a natural way. So if you're going to imitate English speakers, learn about connected speech and some of the common ways to do this. In the Fluency program, there is a whole section on this, and you can record your versions of you doing this as well. Could you please pronounce Melbourne? Melbourne. Let's have a look. I think there's an area of Australia that will say Melbourne. Or I can't do the Australian accent very well. I need to practice that one. Let's see.
Melbourne.
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 Melbourne. How do Australians pronounce Melbourne? So it's like Melbourne. And this born is just the schwa. The Australian way to pronounce Melbourne is more like Melbourne. I need to hear some audio. Let's just try this video.
Melbourne. Melbourne.
Melbourne. So it is Melbourne. Yeah. My sister actually said this on the phone to me today in an Australian accent. And it was really good. Yeah, Melbourne. Burhan. Hello, Burhan. It's been a while. What is the subject? We have been talking about the best resources to help you improve the way you speak English on your own. So, just to give you all a recap, we have Cambridge Dictionary, which gives you the phonetic alphabet and also the British and American way to say any word.
Arm.
We've also talked about rhotic versus non-rhotic, and this is an example. There is no R sound in most British dialects. Arm. Now, the Lancashire way to say this would be arm. So you do say the R sound. That sounds a little bit West Country as well, because there is some overlap there. There is some overlap. Now, we've also looked at Youglish. Let's just choose another word here. And let's just put Lancashire in there. Aye, Lancashire.
Support our community and our population in Lancashire and
Lancashire, South Cumbria.
Lincolnshire, George Eliot, Buckinghamshire and East Lancashire.
Lancashire.
I'll look carefully at what she says, but I suspect it is a council decision by Lancashire.
Lancashire County Council. So that is David Cameron, the ex-Prime Minister. Let's just see. Oh, here's a good one.
At Mossley Market in Lancashire. Fish and chips became popular as a late-night post-pub feast for men.
Oh yeah, fish and chips. Fish and chips.
We'll take you to Lancashire.
Lancashire. So this is Lancashire. Now, one thing about the Lancashire accent or the Lancashire way of speaking is a lot of the time we don't use articles. Okay, we can't use articles. So, for example, this is a good one. We don't use auxiliary verbs either. You'll hear people say, go in shop. Go in shop. Go in shop. Which means I'm going to the shop. I'm going to the shop. Go in shop. Or, let's catch bus. Let's catch bus. Instead of let's catch the bus. Let's catch bus. So a lot of the time, this is strong, informal Lancashire talk. We don't use the article. I can't wait anymore to watch your live lesson. You are the best teacher ever. Can you make a video just for Q&A? Because I have millions of questions to ask you. Ask me some questions now. I'm here. But yeah, I'll do that. Doan, I think what you're saying is you imitate people with different accents, so your accent is mixed. It's not annoying, it's fun. Look, a lot of the time as well, this is all fun. And if let's say you're from France, most people from France are going to have a French accent when they speak. Hello, how are you? It sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. The Spanish are going to have an accent too. Like, Read. I read the book. It sounds good. Or from Russia. Where privet. It's more little bit like this. There's no intonation. That sounds more African. But there's no intonation in the Russian accent or the way that Russians speak. And there's this debate of whether you need to lose your accent or not. And I like it when people have an accent or a subtle one. So they can say, for example, in Spanish, you'll hear people say, read the book. Read the book. Read the book. Okay? Because they're using the consonant sounds and the vowel sounds to say read. It sounds better if you say read with the English sound, but it also sounds good with a little bit of Spanish accent. Accents are great. Foreign accents are fantastic. So it's really cool. I asked about often and species. I sometimes hear those two words unlike they are pronounced in Cambridge Dictionary. So often, you might hear often. Often, 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 often. Where there's no T sound and it just goes straight to the schwa. Often, often. Is Chicago pronounced Chicago? No, Chicago. Chicago. It's fun when you have imitated Spanish accent. As a Spaniard, I found it a little exaggerated. Yeah. More like red. It is a little exaggerated. I can't really wait, or I really can't wait. I really can't wait for it. Notice the stress. The emphasis on really. I really can't wait for it. Really. Really. Hijack from Canada. Good to have you here. Lucas is here. I imagine from Poland. Good to have you, Lucas. Okay, just remember to like and share this lesson. We'll go for a few more minutes. Here are some phrases for raining. You can say it's pouring down, or it's pouring if it's raining really hard. In British English, we'll say it's chucking it down. It's a really good way to connect speech. It's chucking it down, 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 chucking it down. Chucking it down, chucking it down, chucking it down. It's torrential out there. You will hear people say that too. It's torrential out there. Could you please make a video through which we learn about stressed and unstressed syllables in a word and words in a sentence? Yeah, that is inside the Fluency program, but I might make a couple of videos on that as well. Hello, Jack Ray from Egypt, if you still remember me. Of course I do. You're busy, or you used to be busy on Facebook, and you have groups, but I'm not quite sure if you do that now. I don't spend as much time on Facebook these days. I love your accent. Can you please tell me how to pronounce the word asphalt? Asphalt. Alt. Asphalt. How do you pronounce wanted? And to link want it. Yeah, this is good. So a couple of things here. We have want, wanted, want it, wanted it. So want, wanted. This is the ed sound where you add id. Want, wanted, 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 wanted. Then we can connect speech. Wanted. Oh no, want it, want it, want it, and wanted it. So notice the difference. Wanted, want it. Wanted, want it. It's the id and the it sound. And then wanted it. I wanted it. I wanted it. This, again, we go through this in the Fluency program. I'm going to make video on homophones. May I ask when you are on a live video? Yeah, so you can say, when do you go live? When do you go live? I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Manel. I was hoping to play soccer, but it's raining really heavily right now. It's chucking it down outside. Okay. I am going to end the live lesson here. Again, please like and share this video. It really does help out the channel. Go to fluency.com/TFP, and I'll leave a link in the chat and the description too, to join the Fluency program. Okay, and if you don't have my book yet, you can get it here. Again, there's a link in the description. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I hope to have another lesson for you tomorrow. If not, it will be with you on Saturday. All right, speak to you soon. Bye-bye.